Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is starting to attempt to break out above this crucial level on the price chart, as the price of Bitcoin is still playing out the short-term bullish divergence, but now running into this exact level of resistance in the immediate short term, at least as of recording this video. So in just a moment, I'll be sharing with you exactly how I'm planning to make a lot of quick and easy profits in the crypto market, which I'm already starting to do right now, while the price of Ethereum is continuing the perfect bounce from this area of support on its way potentially towards this area of resistance, while the price of XRP is now continuing to play out this bullish divergence in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. But on this weekly Bitcoin price chart, we still have a massive bearish divergence to watch out for, telling us that we're most likely going to be lacking bullish momentum, cooling off, potentially still during the bull market, but cooling off, lacking bullish momentum, showing a lot of weakness for at least a period of weeks, possibly a period of months as a very likely scenario. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart right now, we're on the edge of potentially starting to invalidate, in other words, deviate from this fractal, repeating from what we saw last time. Because obviously what we saw last time around the end of February entering into March this year was a much further pullback in the price of Bitcoin, following this very similar price action that we've been seeing over the last couple of months or so. And obviously if this were to repeat, that would suggest a continued pullback, but the point where that would change and start to deviate and flip a little bit more bullish in the short term, in other words, invalidate this fractal, the point where that would change would be if we actually confirm a breakout with ideally a daily candle close above roughly 110,500, which is this line on the price chart. Last time we did not do that. We saw a rejection from that line. As we can see, we retested the line, failed to see the breakout, rejected, and ultimately confirmed more bearish price action still to come. Whereas this time around, obviously, if we confirm this breakout here above this line on the price chart, that would clearly be a different signal from what we saw last time, starting to deviate and invalidate this previous fractal. In other words, would start to finally flip more bullish again in the next few days, or maybe in the next week or so, once again just in the short term. But remember, if we're zooming out to the weekly time frame, we still have that larger bearish divergence, which suggests maybe if we break out above this line, yes, we could see a short-term bullish move, but it would likely just be a short-term bullish move during a larger sideways consolidation, kind of like what we saw just here. For example, obviously the price was basically bouncing around sideways, but during that sideways price range, we saw short-term bullish price action and short-term bearish price action. So once again, if we confirm this breakout, which is getting very close to possibly happening, if that actually happens, then that tells us that we're likely going to see short-term bullish price action, but remember, still during a larger sideways price range, while the larger bearish divergence is still active. But ultimately, we're just waiting on that signal right now on the daily time frame. Over the last few days, we've seen multiple tests of this line, no confirmed breakout, but right now, once again, as of recording the video, the price of Bitcoin is currently trading above the line. We just need to now wait for confirmation. So once again, wait for at least a daily candle close above around 110,500 and actually hold above that level in the coming days. But obviously, this is not the only resistance to watch out for in the short term for the price of Bitcoin. First of all, we have this resistance, which we are running into right now as of recording this video on the 6-hour Bitcoin price chart, and that's sitting at in between around 111.7k to 112k. And over the last few days or so, over the last half a week, we've seen multiple perfect rejections from my exact area of resistance here on the price chart. But if we actually see a confirmed breakout here in that situation, we could find a small amount of resistance at 113.5k, but really the next significant resistance to watch out for in the short term, if we first break out above 112k, is sitting at around 116,000, really slightly underneath 116,000. And also, technically speaking, this shorter term bullish divergence is still currently valid. It's still active and influencing the price of Bitcoin, because we've not yet confirmed any invalidation signal to actually invalidate the bullish divergence, which means continue to expect the price to attempt these sort of bullish reliefs here. But remember, as we approach a point of resistance, it's at that point where the price could start to struggle or possibly reject from in the price chart. And so when we're putting this information together, the bullish divergence trying to play out, but the price struggling at resistance over the last few days, that has been causing choppy sideways price action as the price tries to play out the bullish relief, rejects from resistance, playing out the bullish relief, so on and so forth. And so those are all of the factors right now that are continuing to influence the price of Bitcoin Bitcoin in the shorter term and the slightly mid to longer term here. And those are my expectations moving forward. Honestly, quite similar price action to what we've been seeing over the last few days. But if you've been watching my channel over the last week or so, you should be making a lot of very quick and easy profits right now in the crypto market, as I have been doing with my trading strategy. And because this is a trading bot, a futures grid bot, it's fully automated. So I just set it up once and it's basically good to go. It's automatically taking these trades for me, simple buy orders and sell orders. So the moment the price drops towards the downside, it buys Bitcoin at these cheaper prices with all of these buy orders here. The moment we see a bounce back towards the upside, it sells that Bitcoin at these higher prices to secure profits. And so basically, while the price of Bitcoin is bouncing around sideways, this is perfect price action for this trading strategy, this automated passive trading strategy, securing easy passive profits right now into my Pinex account the longer we see this choppy sideways price action. And so obviously, if you're simply just holding spot Bitcoin, or for example, if you're in a high leverage long position or a short position, this type of price action is not ideal for you. But if you're in my trading strategy, which I'm currently in right now, this price action is perfect. You can make very easy profits in this price action right here. But as always, there's no such thing as a 100% guarantee. And of course, I'm just sharing what I'm currently doing with my own money. So not financial advice, of course. But if you actually want to copy this trading strategy for yourself, I will leave a link to this page right here in the description and in the pinned comment. In fact, it'll be the second link below the video. That link will take you to this page right here, where you can simply click one single button right here, copy the bot, and you can copy my exact trading strategy right here that's been running over the last 1 week now and has been securing easy profits this entire time. But in order to actually copy this trading strategy, because it's on my Pinex account, you'll need to actually make a Pinex account, and you'll need to make that account using one of the links below the video to actually make your Pinex account in order to copy this trading strategy if you want to. Because unfortunately, if you don't use the links below the video to actually make your account, this copy button right here simply will not work. And if you actually click the first link below the video to Pinex, that link will take you to this page right here, where you can also get a bunch of other bonuses, essentially free money from the exchange just by making an account, making deposits, etc. So for example, if you make an account using the first link below the video, complete KYC, you get a 50 USDT bonus onto your Pinex account. And on top of that, you can get a 100 USDT bonus just by depositing 100 USDT. Or if you deposit 10,000, you get a 1,000 USDT bonus onto your Pinex account. Once again, basically free money from the exchange, which you can actually use with these trading bots right here, my trading strategy, free money from the exchange just by simply making an account, making deposits, or completing KYC using the link below the video. But once again, if you don't use that link, unfortunately, you can't claim any of these bonuses here. And also, you cannot copy my trading strategy. It just simply will not work. This button will not work if you don't have a Pinex account that has been made using the links below the video. And so that's just a quick update on what I expect for Bitcoin moving forward, the key levels and signals to watch out for, and my exact trading strategy, simply sharing with you completely for free here on YouTube how to make easy money in the market right now, which I'm currently doing myself. You can see the profits for yourself. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see that right now the price of Bitcoin and this liquidation heat map is still forming liquidity above the current price at around 114,000 and at around 116,000. And so as I've said in recent videos here on the channel, you can kind of think of these areas as magnets for the price of Bitcoin, pulling Bitcoin towards these areas. So it is quite likely the price will continue moving towards these areas. But once again, don't forget these points of resistance where the price could possibly struggle at or reject from. So right now, as I've recorded the video, we are now testing this level of resistance. But the moment we start breaking out above 112K with candle closes and actually holding above 112K, in that situation, that would significantly increase the probability that we'll see a move up towards these higher levels of liquidity to wipe out those levels. And if you want to take manual trades like regular long positions or short positions for that type of thing, personally, I like to use 2bit as another option out there, and an actual no KYC exchange as well, which I personally use. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below the video. And if you use that link, I'll take you to this page right here, where you can also claim massive bonuses. For example, up to 10,000 USDT in trial fund bonuses and 8,000 USDT in withdrawable stablecoins just by depositing and trading crypto using that link. And on top of that, without making any deposits or any trades, you can get a free 30 USDT trial fund bonus and 1 month free VIP3 upgrade on your 2bit account. So basically very cheap trading fees and essentially free money from the exchange just by simply making an account using that link below the video, the third link below the video to 2bit. And once again, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, and I'll keep this quick because overall I continue to predict the exact same price action that I've been predicting increasing over the last 1 month for the Bitcoin dominance, since all the way back down here every single day since then I've been saying expect a short-term bullish relief, just a slight bullish relief like this as a very likely scenario for the Bitcoin dominance. And obviously over the last 1 month that has been playing out as predicted, just a slight bullish relief. So ultimately continue to predict this and continue to expect this to play out. And so in other words, a lot of the major altcoins out there on average will likely be slightly underperforming, but still performing quite similar to whatever Bitcoin is doing. And if we're taking a look at the price of Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, right now the price of ETH is continuing to bounce from basically the lower end of this area of support in between roughly 3.9k to 4.1k. So we still haven't really seen a lot of confirmation confirming a break below this significant area, because at least for now as well, we're simply retesting the area and so far not yet flipping it into new resistance. So overall it is still possible we're finding support in this area. And if we're taking a look at the daily Ethereum price chart, we're also still playing out this bullish divergence, which means continue to expect some choppy sideways price action as a very likely outcome. And obviously over the last 1 week or so that's been perfectly playing out as predicted, so continue to expect that moving forward. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term on the 8-hour time frame, the choppy sideways price action is in this sideways price range between support and resistance. So expect support in between around 37.20 to 37.60 and resistance in between around 40.60 to 4.1k. And so basically just continue to expect the price to bounce at this support and reject from this resistance. And remember, with choppy sideways price action like this, that is absolutely perfect for a grid bot trading strategy, which I'm currently using for Bitcoin right now. You can easily make a lot of passive profits in the market during choppy sideways price action just like this. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the 2-day time frame, right now Solana is once again testing this crucial area on the price chart, sitting in between around 190 to 200. So at least for now that still is acting as a resistance, but if we see a confirmed breakout above that area, expect more resistance at around $209 to $210 give or take, and significant resistance at around $230. And as for support, expect a lot of support in between roughly 170 to 175 right down here. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 8-hour Solana price chart, we can see that right now the RSI on this time frame is still trending towards the upside despite that previous break towards the downside below this ascending line of support in the 8-hour Solana RSI. So once again, as I said in my last video, that did technically invalidate this previous bullish divergence with one invalidation signal confirming, but like I also said in my last video, it's very likely we're just going to continue bouncing around it relatively sideways with another bounce coming soon, which ultimately has now played out as predicted, and most likely going to continue some choppy sideways price action like this as a very likely outcome here in the short term, especially if Bitcoin does something similar. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, we're still technically playing out this massive bearish divergence that I warned about months ago. So not a lot has changed on this weekly XRP price chart over the last 1 day. But if we're taking a look at the daily XRP price chart, what is now happening right now is a bounce from this area of support sitting in between around $2.30 to $2.40. So ultimately, we're now continuing to play out this shorter term bullish divergence on the daily XRP price chart, and usually a bullish divergence plays out in the form of either some choppy sideways price action or a slight bullish relief as very likely outcomes, very common outcomes from a bullish divergence. So overall, expect that sort of price action moving forward as a very likely scenario over the next few days or so. But don't forget that at least for now, we are still within a bearish trend forming lower highs and lower lows. So remember, understand the difference between the different time frames. The short term can be a little bit more bullish while we're, for example, bouncing from support or playing out a bullish divergence, but the short term can be a different situation from the mid to longer term. Obviously, larger trend still currently bearish, but during the larger trend, we can see short-term bullish movements, and right now we're on one of those short-term bullish reliefs, which will likely continue at least over the next few days. And as for support and resistance to watch out for, once again, we have that support in between around 230 to 240, and expect a lot of resistance at closer towards roughly $2.60. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink, it's a very similar situation for Chainlink as what I just said for XRP. So ultimately, still in a bearish trend, forming lower highs and lower lows, but currently playing out a shorter term bullish divergence on the daily Chainlink price chart. And so basically expect the exact same price action for Chainlink as what I just said for XRP, which means either a slight bullish relief or potentially a bit of choppy sideways price action as very likely outcomes, very common outcomes while we're playing out this bullish divergence at least over the next few days. So basically the price action that we've seen for almost a week now since this latest low that we saw around mid-October. From that point onwards, expect very similar price action to what we just saw then moving forward, at least over the next few days is what I continue to predict here. And in terms of support and resistance to watch out for, right now we do have a bit of support at roughly 1730 give or take, and more support at roughly around 1570. And as for resistance, expect a lot of resistance in between roughly $19.50 to $20. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, like what I'm currently doing right now to make a lot of quick and easy profits in the crypto market, then you have to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange. And once again, if you're using the links below the video to those exchanges, you can claim massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can trade like this for yourself, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.